I've built a two-wheel drive e-mountain bike, and I think this could be the ultimate off-road climbing machine. Right, I'm in the garage and I've got all the kit I need to turn my regular e-mountain bike into a two-wheel drive machine. So this is a Bafang front-wheel drive kit that is designed to bolt onto any bike, turn it into an e-bike, but obviously why not bolt it to a mid-drive e-bike and give it two-wheel drive. So this kit cost me 360 quid, gone for the 29er front-wheel option. See, it's got disc brake mounts as well, so it's a proper job. It's quite heavy, and obviously that's the front wheel drive, is in the hub. Got a cable coming out of it. And in the box there is all sorts of stuff, some sort of mounting equipment. I've got brake sensors, speed sensors, I've got a control, little screen on there as well. And I have got a lot of cables and what I guess is kind of the brains to it all. It promises to be a simple and hassle-free installation. Let's find out. Unfortunately, that front hub is not bolt-through compatible, so I've had to get an upgrade. Call it an upgrade. This is a £90 fork. Found this on AliExpress. It's also 120mm travel, so I'm going from 150 down to 120. It's going to make it a climbing machine. Obviously, it's quick release on there, so I can fit the motor. So I think I should start building it. I don't think there's been a huge history of two-wheel drive mountain bikes, although I did find this from 1993 called a Legacy Mirage. Look at that sort of drive shaft system goes to the front tyre. But actually the motorbikes, back in World War II, Ural started making two-wheel drive motorbikes, and you can actually buy their sidecar now. There's a company called Rokon, started in the 60s. I think you can still buy that as well. And then one I remember is Christini. They used to make kits that you could bolt onto your motocross bike to make two-wheel drive. They now make their own all-wheel drive 300, and I've literally just discovered that they do their own all-wheel drive mountain bike as well, which I won't let that spoil my fun, so I'm still going to do it as well. But this is a mid-drive bike with aluminium tubular drive shafts. So you go up there into the top tube and then down to the front tyre. Fat tyres as well. I bet that is an adventure machine. But there was one bike that I really do remember. It was a Yamaha dirt bike, so basically an enduro motorbike that I read the review of in the magazines and I stuck in my brain. The 2004 Yamaha 2-track WR450F. It used a hydraulic front-wheel drive powered from the gearbox. A sprocket drove a pump that pushed oil through pipes to the front hub. That pressure then powered the front wheel, which is genius. And it was supposed to be amazing on hill climbs and in slower corners where the front wheel would pull you out of it rather than being pushed into the turn. I can still picture it in the magazine. Until recently I thought, actually, we could probably quite easily do this with an e-bike. We have the tech. And it was that Yamaha that really fascinated me. Some of the test riders actually said in certain situations where it was slow and technical, a bit like mountain biking, that it could be really good. Although that two-track system never caught on. The motorcycle press at times said it was too complex and too heavy with that hydraulic system driving the front wheel. However, they did say that some manufacturers were exploring it still and that it could become viable with electric motors. So here it is. This is my two-wheel drive eMTB concept machine. Haven't trademarked it just yet, but I'll think about it. It's practical, it's rugged. I've got power and torque on both wheels. I'm sure we can all agree it looks great. A little bit rough around the edges, and it gets slightly worse when you have to find somewhere to fit your 500 watt-hour battery. I was hoping that it would fit in the front triangle, but alas it doesn't. Don't look too closely at the battery, it's a bit rough around the edges, so I will have to attach this to the top tube. Anyway, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. You won't even notice this battery once I've finished. Virtually invisible, but I am now packing 1,300 watt hours. I should say 1.3 kilowatt hours, sounds better, doesn't it, of battery. slightly weighty as you'd expect. It's hard to get that exact number because my Park Tool workshop scales max out at 30, so didn't fancy it. Bathroom scales tell me 34 kilograms. 100 newton meters of torque and 750 watts of peak power at the rear wheel, 65 newton meters and unknown peak power at the front. Let's find out what it can do. Okay, systems check. Motor 1, enabled. Motor 2, it's doing something. Full power, obviously. Let's go. First impressions, it's crazy how fast it accelerates. It doesn't feel like a really powerful e-bike. It's definitely just the both wheels just pulling you out. And you notice that in these turns, it's weird. It's on a pivot and your front wheel just wants to kind of pull to the path of least resistance, I guess, and it just slides really easily. So I'm trying to keep that front wheel gripping. It's not a case of sitting on the back tyre to make that grip. That feels like it's got all the grip in the world. It's the front tyre I'm trying to control, and it's taking a bit of getting used to, but I feel like it can definitely climb up some steep and technical stuff, so it's time to give that a try. Right, we've given it a fair go in on the normal trails. I think we should go and get silly and see what I can get up on it. Whoa. So hard keeping the front wheel gripping, but actually the rear tyre is not sliding at all. Whoa! That'll do. It's beating me. Right, so the concept of a two-wheel drive e-mountain bike, does it work? It really does climb really well, which I'm slightly surprised by. I thought it was just going to be a bit of a laugh, but actually the way it goes up, it's climbing really fast, and the technical stuff, it will get up, it will drag you up. So I am quite impressed, but obviously it's quite a clunky way of doing it, the way I've done it. If you could plug it into your average e-bike so you didn't have all these brains and the battery, then that would obviously be a big improvement, and that is completely possible. Obviously it's made by Bafang. Bafang do make mid-drive motors, that is all possible, but if you drive in the front wheel and a rear wheel, you're going to need a big battery anyway to get the range out of it, and it does give you a lot of climbing ability, but actually it detracts from the rest of it. All that weight on the front wheel is pretty crazy. It doesn't make it fun to ride downhill. Could you get rid of that hub drive and have one of those hydraulic systems from the motorbike? Maybe. Obviously not a simple solution either, so I could see why it would be good for like an adventure bike. If you're out in the wilderness and need to get places, great, but for regular mountain biking, I don't think I would run it. Even if someone did build this better than me, if it's possible, I don't think I'd buy a two-wheel drive e-mountain bike. But actually, I've been impressed. I know these Bafang kits are not made for this. They're made for people trying to convert their regular bikes into a city bike that's an e-bike. Then great, it works really well. I'm impressed. But for mountain biking, it's not that great.